In this video, I'll give you an overall review of EXOTICCA Tours Egypt in 12 days. When we first arrived, our guide said there are 2 rules on this tour. Number 1, do not try to cross the street, and number 2, don't expect to get much sleep. And boy, was he right on both. With so much to see and do in Egypt, this tour really packed it in to make sure we experienced as much as Egypt as possible in the 10 days we actually had on land. Each hotel we stayed in was absolutely stunning, with a delicious breakfast and beautiful, refreshing pools to swim in. Because there's so much to pack in on this 12-day Egyptian tour, in order to see everything that's on the agenda, you're really not given too much time at each site. I especially would have liked to have had more time at the vibrant and lively Khan el-Khalili Bazaar. This is the area where you get the real taste of the Egyptian lifestyle and the main place to get all your shopping done. I was so enthralled in my surroundings that I wasn't able to check much off my shopping list in the short amount of time that we had there, but luckily I was able to hire a car from the hotel to take me back so I could bring goodies home for my family. I made separate videos of this amazing bazaar, as well as all the individual excursions we did on this trip, so please subscribe to my channel and check out my other videos as well. The first paid optional excursion was to Abu Simbel. This temple is second to the pyramids and Sphinx as the most popular monument in Egypt. You can find a much more reasonable price for the same tour in Viator, but doing the one through EXOTICCA gives you a little more peace of mind that you'll make it back to the Nile's cruise ship on time to ensure that the boat won't leave without you. The Nile River cruise was absolutely amazing. There was a pool on the top deck, entertainment at night, and fine dining in the restaurant. The excursion to the Nubian village itself seemed like a bit of a tourist trap, but the boat ride to get there along the Nile made it all worthwhile. First, we stopped along the shore for a dip in the water. And yeah, I know what you're thinking. You can't swim in the Nile, it's infected with bacteria. Well, we seemed to be in a sweet spot. At least that's what we hoped. Far enough south for the river to be clean, and just far enough north ahead of the crocodiles. Remember, the Nile is one of the few rivers that flows north. This spot on the beach was amazing, and I could have stayed here with these Nubians the whole time instead of heading to the village. The crafts they sold here were some of the best and the most unique that I've seen on this whole trip, other than Khan el-Khalili Bazaar in Cairo. Once you go to the village, you do get to hold a baby crocodile, so that's cool. But they also have large crocodiles in small confines. That makes you feel bad for these little guys' fate. I especially enjoyed being on the deck as we pulled into Kom Ombo, the temple dedicated to 2 different deities, the crocodile-headed god Sobek and the falcon-headed god Horus. Outside each temple were little souks where the locals tried to sell us stuff. We were on such a tight time schedule that we really didn't have much time to shop, but the guys really cracked me up and definitely added to the experience of our journey.
Shakira.
Hi, good, thank you.
Hello, where are you from? England? England?
U.S.
US?
Yes.
Oh, welcome. Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Hi, Shakira. $1. 5 we give Shak. 5. Shakira.
I'd say the Felucca ride was just okay. This one was fun, but definitely very short. We basically just went a couple of short circles without really traveling anywhere at all. Then they pulled out their goods to sell us before we were heading back. You'll definitely want to be on the top deck as we go through the Esna ship lock on the Nile. Our boat dropped a total of 8 meters, that's 26 feet, in order to continue on our journey. This recently renovated lock was built to facilitate the navigation of boats and ships along the river, especially during the times of flooding. Both the Karnak and Luxor temples were spectacular. The guides provided by EXOTICCA were great historians and very knowledgeable about each temple and monument we went to. Their English was also very easy to understand and well articulated. We didn't stay in Hurghada as our itinerary said. Instead, we stayed in a town equally as nice, about a half-hour south called Sufaga. It would have been nice to know ahead of time since we already booked a scuba diving trip before we left the States in Hurghada. Riding quads through the desert to a Bedouin village was definitely a lot of fun, especially since we got to interact with the adorable children and even got to feed a baby camel. So what did I think of my 12-day Egypt tour with EXOTICCA? It was spectacular. I felt well taken care of the entire time and got to see and do so much in such a short time. When your guide at the beginning of the trip tells you that you won't get any rest on this trip, believe him. Every day was jam-packed with adventures. I give this EXOTICCA tour a 5 out of 5 and definitely recommend it to anyone who wants to visit Egypt.